And good Friday morning to you. How do you feel today? Storms are gone, which that is good news. We're starting it out at 40 degrees now. Wind chill, it's rather nippy out there. We're sitting at 32, right at the freezing degree mark with the wind chill this morning. So that kind of shapes up what we've got. We'll go over where the storms were yesterday and where it is this morning and how it all came about. Yet again, our immediate area was blessed. We were very fortunate that it didn't turn any worse as it made its way into Alabama. I think it was 4 tornadoes spun out of what we had yesterday. It was building and just got worse as it went east of here. We'll take a look at that on radar this morning and show you more about that also. How do you feel? Windy? Got a lot of limbs probably to pick up this morning as we looked at everything. Now, one of the things that did happen yesterday, and I want to show you this. This was Kemper County. As we go to Kemper County with this, let me show you this of what went on. This is Highway 397, just out of on Highway 16, just past the split where you turn 397 to go to Louisville. And what is happening here is you've had all of these trees bump power lines, and it fell down, and that sparked a fire. And that started there in Kemper County. I want to say there was 4 or 5 of those that happened in Kemper alone. They were all scattered throughout Lauderdale County. I want to say even Clark had some incidences of that degree yesterday afternoon also. So that was the scene. A lot of wind, everything blowing. To my knowledge, no one was hurt in our area. Thank goodness on that. We have a lot of homes destroyed and beat up as you go on in to Alabama. We'll look at some of the pictures that are out there this morning with that. Last night, it was around 22,000 Alabamians that were without power last night as that went through Alabama. We had several in the Meridian area. As we go to EMEPA, everybody is back on now. Went to bed around 10, and there was about 130 people without power. They got that restored. I had some trouble with a substation. As we wake up this morning, let's just look at this overall of where we are this morning. The boys in Alabama have worked real hard to restore power to everybody. As we look at this map here in Mississippi this morning, we have a little under 3,000 people without power. Smith County, 448 without power. All good in Newton, Neshoba, Lauderdale, Kemper, all good in these areas here. Wayne County's got 13, and it's going to be this little track right through here that is without power. Now, let's look at Alabama now. And again, yesterday at one point, Alabama was up to 22,000 without power. This morning, about 3,800 is without power in Alabama. And you look at this, they're doing really good here where this came in. Pickens County down to 22. Jefferson County is where the big one is. They got about 2,700 without power there in Jefferson County in Alabama. So that gives you a little bit of a leadway of how these storms began yesterday and where they come across. Clark County got an abundance of rain. If you lived in Clark County, you got wet yesterday. Your rain gauge was hopping there without a doubt. I hope each and every one of y'all are okay. Didn't mean to scare anybody yesterday as we watched that. Always just trying to give you exactly the facts of what is going on. We had numerous trees that were reported out down in the Meridian area. Let's take a look at some of these here. I think I got some of these handy where we can pop these up. Right above here, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm almost there. Here's the scene here of a power line down in the Meridian area right there. This was located on 26th Street. That one wasn't too bad. I want to say I got another scene of the Meridian area also with the tree down here. Yeah, here's another one right here. This was on 16th and 35th and 36th Avenue, all the way across the road. That was impassable there for a little while. So it slowed down until crews got out and picked that up, and they were busy, without a doubt, yesterday afternoon. There for a brief moment yesterday morning, we had some street lights that got put out because of a tree, but restored rather quickly. So that was good news on all of that. This also happened. I wanted to bring this up. If you live up in the Lauderdale area, we had one of those where, same thing with Kemper County, to where trees got knocked down and sparked fires. And here's the scene of this up on Bethel Road. The Lauderdale Volunteer Fire Department was over that, and all those woods caught on fire there. As you can see, power lines down. And it just sparks it. Fortunately, no one was hurt. as we dig deeper into these stories here. So that's a little bit of what went on yesterday. This was some wind damage. And if you've got pictures that we hadn't got yet, we'd love to see this. This was 8th Street and 29th Avenue, a little wind damage there to the roof there. The curb store there got a little bit of damage. Nothing horrible, but still annoying to get that. It could have been a whole lot worse as we get into all of that. Well, let's see what else we've got happening today. We talked about the Kemper County fire. Also, last night, a little bit of a delay for folks that were getting on the interstate. It was someone pulling a trailer that lost control of it. The car didn't flip, but the trailer that they were hauling flipped. You've seen that happen before, where a trailer gets a little ahead of itself, tries to pass the car, it flipped, and caused a little delay there around exit 150. Got things fixed up, and everybody got to travel once again yesterday. So that was good news. I also had a wreck on Highway 493 last night, right past, if you're coming out of Meridian, you follow Highway 493 and you go past where you'd go left onto 495. A couple miles up the road, had a single car wreck, hit a tree right off the edge of the road. I think all was well. Possible injuries were involved in that, but I don't think it was very serious. That's the good news. Shake you up type wreck. Never, no wreck is ever good, is it? And if you do, see our friend Chet there. He'll fix you up, putting your car back together. Good morning to Kathy Spence. Glad to see you all the way from Decatur this morning. Terry Carter is up. Also, Janice Wiggins up and going. Mike Dallas, morning. Joyce Parker Poole is up. Miss Laura Lee. Joyce Gressett. The list goes on here of good folks that are up stirring. Glad to see y'all. Not too bad, as we said, right now, 40 as we begin this day and get everything started. Now, another thing that happened yesterday afternoon, I got a text on this pretty quickly after it happened. And let me pull the scene of what went on yesterday afternoon with this. This was right at 5 o'clock. We got any people from Macon, Mississippi? I think we do. We always have somebody watching from there. This was the scene at City Drug. And as you look at this, WCBI also came up and done a little bit of filming on this. But the store right here that was next to them was being torn down. I don't think they had done anything in the last day or so, but they were tearing that building down. And at 5 o'clock yesterday, it looks as though the roof and parts of this building collapsed. Now, I've gotten different confirmations. We'll try to talk to the fire chief today there in Macon. But from my understanding, it was either 1 to 2 people that were trapped inside the building for a short time until they were able to get them out. And of course, you mixed in with all the rain that was pouring down that made it that worse. And as you talk to the police on this, they were, if it had to happen the way they worded it, they were glad it happened then, to where it was less people in the store because of the rain. Everybody had kind of stayed inside. It could have been a lot worse had it been earlier in the day before the rain started with more people inside picking up drugs and things of that nature, prescriptions. So fortunately, I don't know the condition at this point of the 2 people that were trapped in there for a little while, but Macon, Mississippi, making national news this morning. I've read that several places as it goes across the wire, so to speak. But that is out there. Don't forget to come back at 8 o'clock. We'll have a full-blown show for you. We'll have a special guest this morning. Chris is going to be coming in with us. Former police chief. He'll be in today to tell us what he's been up to and give us some advice. All that will be fun. Chris Reed joins us at 8 a.m. Hope you'll come by and visit for a little while. Let's see some other stories that are shaping the nation this morning as you wake up. Have you heard about this Scott County? It's just not far from the Meridian area. As you look at this, you've got Meridian, you've got Newton, then the next county where you'll find all of the rest areas on your way to Jackson. We had 2 people shot and a dog shot yesterday. One of the people, it was a couple. One of them has died from the gunshots. They have not, to my knowledge, at this time this morning, apprehended the people that were doing it. They're investigating that. One person dead, awful. The other person is in critical shape. Whoever it was left the house there, and awful. Possibly what they're saying is it's a Ford car with a Newton or Neshoba County tag on it. You seen anything suspicious? It was a gray car, gray Ford possibly. Newton, Neshoba County tags possibly in that area over in Scott County. More with this will come out as they investigate this. Horrible, horrible, horrible. We keep seeing that. It wasn't a lot long ago. They still hadn't solved that in the Jackson area of the couple that was shot along with their pup. They were not found for a week in Jackson, Mississippi. As we dig deeper into this escape, and yesterday I had read it, and when I was talking about it, I'd forgotten. The guy that escaped the prison that they told no one about for 24 hours was in prison for murder. And for whatever reason, when we were talking about it yesterday, that slipped my mind. It even goes, we get more and more details on this each day. A little bit more comes out of this. Now, he was in a hospital twice, even rode in an ambulance. No one was notified, so no one knew that he was the bad guy. But it also turns out that a lady was carjacked. He was standing in the road and tells her that he was in a motorcycle wreck, needs a ride, and then he forces her and tells her to get in her trunk. She refused. There was a little scuffle back and forth there, but she never got in the trunk, and he stole her car. And then the story just widened. She could have been killed, all because someone didn't tell the truth and call ahead and notify everybody that someone had escaped prison. Bad news. And again, they've got 10, 12 people already on suspension with this at the prison that may grow. And it may turn into something more than just a suspension before it's over, because that was a serious thing to be done there. And also Sharon Brazier, we're going to go more into this also of what she said, the Ruffin family. Meridian did lose a police officer, and we'll talk more about that at 8 o'clock this morning. I hope you'll join us. One of our police officers has passed away, and we'll talk more into detail on that this morning coming up at 8 o'clock. Thanks for pointing that out. LaWanda says it was 2 people that were trapped in a store in Macon, Mississippi. We look at that. Now, am I reading that right? Snowing at Old Ford store on Highway 16 in the Dollar General? I don't have anything on radar, but snow flurries? Yeah, that's what I say there. I haven't gotten any. That's the first time I've seen that. A snow flurry. Take a picture of that, Lolita. I'd love to see that. Let's see, in other news this morning, we're finding out that the Nissan plant over in Canton, y'all know where I'm talking about, they're going to get ready to make all electric vehicles here in Mississippi. They're going to sink another $500 million into the state of Mississippi to have this ready to build these cars by 2025. The electric car is coming whether we like it or not. Didn't say that you'd buy it, did I? I just said that it'll be out there. Everybody's trying to be first on this. Maybe it is the wave of the future. A lot of folks still like this gasoline. And this, again, a bid to go green worldwide to push that gasoline out of it. And I don't know if that's such a good idea. We'll find out. Got to charge those cars. Always remember that. Got to charge them. Let's see here. A Mississippi man has admitted, it's just bad when people do this, pandemic funds. Stole it from the elderly. Trevin Evans, 25 years old, of Klein, Mississippi, will spend a little time in jail for stealing from the elderly and stealing also pandemic funds. It's bad when you steal from the elderly. That just ought to be shameful. Let's see, other news this morning here. Several wrecks as you go toward I-20. They had scares over there. Well, we also have a man convicted in Mississippi. This happened yesterday. They convicted him, the Mississippi Department of Corrections. He's going to be spending some time with them. Miranda McLean was killed. She was shot 5 times after this man shot her. It happened in Wilkinson County. He's been sentenced to first-degree murder. Brandon DeJohnette is his name. He'll serve life in prison now. I don't know when they start giving people like that those chances for paroles after they've been sent to jail for life in prison. It does happen. Can they come out of that after their murders? Do you want that on the streets? I don't know. It's always a big question that people ask. Also, I-55, they're having some trouble with some bridges, and they're going to start putting weight limits and restrictions on some bridges in the Jackson area. So if you truck driver in that area, be ready for that. They're going to be making some changes there. Across the nation this morning, Oklahoma last night executed a man for a 2005 quadruple slaying. Had a big meal before he died and never said anything. As they asked for your last words, he had nothing to say. Ate a bunch of chicken, it says there, but he did. He was put to death by lethal injection last night in Oklahoma. I want to say that's the 4th in the state there so far this year. Amazon has suspended their donations to the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation after they're not coming clean about where the $60 million in donations have gone that was contributed to them. $60 million is missing. No one's talking. They have no idea where the money is. So Amazon has backed out on donating more funds. You'll see more and more of that nationwide as it was a rush to donate to that fund. Now, they can't explain where the money is. I'm sure there's more to follow with the story, and we'll watch that. That's a few of the headlines this morning. We've got weather for you on the way next. Anybody else seeing any snow that I don't know about? It's sleeting in the Kipling community in Kemper County. Oh, get out of here. Very sparse snow flurries there in Arlington also. Oh, let's see here. We'll look at radar here in just a moment. Yeah, it's so small that radar's not picking it up. We'll get deep into this forecast as y'all continue to surprise me this morning. Flurries and sleet. Wow. We've got that on the way next. Don't go anywhere as we bring you this Friday morning. I hope it's going good for you. Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. As the days get warmer, the grass starts growing. Drop in and visit with Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 in Sicalina, where they've got a complete line of the #1 lawnmower in America, Skag. Whether you're a homeowner or a lawn care service, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower just for you. Plus, they carry Exmark tractors and any part that you may need for your existing tractor or lawnmower. Drop in and see Cole or Buttermilk today. Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, 601-626-8759. And welcome back. As we look at comments this morning, we are seeing that people really are seeing some snow flurry this morning. As we look at Highway 16 there around the Ford store, Dollar General, Kipling area, seeing a little bit of sleet. And then Brian guesses a little bit of a snow flurry there in Arlington. So crack open your back door, especially if you're in the Kemper County, Neshoba County area, and see if you see anything. Again, radar, let me show you how this looks this morning. Absolutely nothing on there. You can't find a snow flurry here in Neshoba County. And as we look at that, it's not popping up there. Wow. So that's interesting. But if you've got it, you see it, let me know about it. Appreciate everybody posting that. As we look at what happened yesterday afternoon, again, as I said, we were very fortunate. This storm, and let's pull this up and show you this on radar as to how this worked yesterday. This storm come across us northeasterly as it came through the area here. Now, this was some of the worst. We did get a tornado warning for Kemper and Noxubee County. And I want you to look how close we came to this. There were 4 actual tornadoes in Alabama. All of this built in the Mississippi area and came across. Look at this, how close this was to happening in Noxubee County. As we kept talking about, this is the Prairie Point area here, Mahana Bridge out in here. As this came across, right there across that Bama state line there, photos of the storm indicated a funnel cloud there. Pickens County, right there. Then this storm went on, and it got ferocious as we got to see the swirls with this storm as it came across here in Alabama. And we had 2 more right here. Here's Tuscaloosa. As it came across, it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And that was the first sign of this. This was the second one that we had there on radar right there. And then this next one, let me close that so you can look at it. A few miles down the road, another one. Damaged, structural damage reported. Trees were down in the roadway. Now, we also had another one. Let me zoom in on this. This is the Birmingham area. As we got over here, here's that 4th one that happened. Here's Birmingham here. It would be to the southeast of Birmingham. Tornado, roadblocked by all the trees that came down. This could have been so much worse than it was. Our area, again, was the target of what we kept thinking where the tornadoes would come, and it did. It built through here, and it just got stronger the further east that it went. Had this started a little bit over here and had that time to build, it would have been a complete mess. As we look at here, right here in Meridian area, we had some trees down, thunderstorm gust. As you get into Clark County, we had trees down on roads and dime-size hail reported there. And that was in the Quitman area. And then back over here in Jasper County, a little bit more. We had some damage in that area there with trees down on County Road 23 south of 528. Also another one there just to the east of Rose Hill out in that area. down trees around Rose Hill. So it was a lot of action there. Now, let me see if I can pull up a few of these pictures that have been posted from Alabama this morning on this. There's been a few, not a lot. Here's an 18-wheeler, as you'll look at this, that was flipped by this yesterday afternoon there. As you can see, there's debris all over the place, and you scroll up, here's another scene where another 18-wheeler was flipped. There's numerous, and you can Google this, there's numerous trees and damage that was done across the state there in Alabama. And I'm sure at this point we haven't gotten all of the news yet of trees down and damage to different homes across Mississippi as well. Well, I'd love to hear from you if you've had any of that. Send us a picture. We'd love to be sharing that with others. Good morning, Miss Joyce Stamper. How are you today? Virgil is up. Morning to see you there. Rachel Grapple up. You just don't lose that much money, Rachel says. And you're right. Morning from DeKalb, Reggie McKee. Glad to see you're up and Adam. And Lamar Henry joins us from Kemper County. As always, share this, let other folks know about what's going on. Now, let's dig deeper into the weather forecast and what we've got going on this weekend so that you'll be prepared for whatever life brings you this weekend. Let's pull this up as we look today. The record highs and record lows was set in 2000 with a high of 82. It was a warm day back then. The lowest was, well, none of us were probably around for this event. 1900, 14 degrees, 122 years ago today. It's getting to be a spell ago. That was the record high here in the Meridian area back in 1900, 14 degrees. Wow. This is our outlook for today. Not too shabby there. 53 degrees is the high that the National Weather Service tells us there. As we dig into Philadelphia, 51 all the way up through about Mississippi State. We're looking to be about 50 as we come on across. And I think they're going to cut that down to about 50 in the Meridian area, if I'm not mistaken. 52 Jackson. As we go to Hattiesburg, y'all might see 55 as we cut across to Demopolis. All the way, 52 degrees. We'll get about 51 there through the Livingston, Alabama area there. Now, the weather's a little bit shorter today since we don't have so many different warnings and watches to go over. As we'll see that most of Mississippi is average right now through east central Mississippi. A little bit cooler starting to move into north Mississippi and the Delta. As we look to our east, most of Alabama and the Carolinas and all through Florida is above average. But as you can see, we got another cold front brewing out here. We got a rain event coming next week, too, as we look at this. And here we are, and we'll watch all of this. We're nearly 80 degrees on down the road for that. Now, my radar system says we'll hit 49 today. National Weather Service is calling for 50, 51. It's splitting hairs. Down tonight, it'll be cold. We can all agree on that. 28 degrees. So be ready. Have your blankets ready. It's not over yet. This winter thing is still with us. As we go to tomorrow, the weekend looks not bad. 59 will be right at that 60-degree mark. You might need just a jacket for a little bit tomorrow there, but it is on the verge there where you could go short sleeveless. Kind of nice on a weekend to be able to do what you do. If you do any work outside, it will be. As we look at tomorrow, that sunshine. It'll be good there. Tomorrow night, we're down to about 34, and we move into Sunday. Back to church we go, and we'll hit a high of about 66, 67 right in here, down to 49. It'll be a gorgeous day on Sunday. Back to work on Monday, and with that comes rain. Here it comes, and it'll start sneaking in after midnight right here. So when you wake up on Monday morning, it'll most likely be raining. We've got rain, look at this, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. A bunch of it. It's going to be a wet week. As we travel on and we look toward Friday, we'll start seeing sunshine again on the 25th, a week from today. It'll return. Again, as we look at this, highs in the 60s, nighttime lows, basically will be in the 30s. So there's nothing that's scary so far as we look to the future of the forecast and what's coming up. So shaping up, not too bad, but look for a very, very wet week next week. If you do outside work, you got anything that needs covered up, maybe you're putting on a roof, step it up over the weekend. You'll need to get that covered up before that happens. Now, we've got Candace getting ready to come in this morning. She'll be here beginning at 8 o'clock as we'll dig deep into the morning show and try to give you a little entertainment with everything that's going on. Let's see here. Some other things that I wanted to mention before we part ways. Let me scoot down to this. We will talk more about this coming up at 8 o'clock, but as we said, we did lose an officer with the Meridian Police Department as they salute as he is taken from the hospital there. And Officer John Ruffin lost his life due to, from what I'm understanding, a heart attack. He had not been with the Meridian Police Department this time very long and was on patrol and said that things didn't feel good. They took him to the hospital, and he remained there for a couple of days and then passed away. Our condolences go out to his family. End of watch ending there. It's a sad day for that happens there. It was February the 16th, 2 days ago, that he lost his life. And with the storms and everything yesterday, I didn't go into a big deal with that. I think you deserve more respect. You get blended in with the storms that were happening. But our condolences go out to his family as one of the men in blue lose their lives. We do, again, pass along condolences to that. Another thing that I wanted to point out, and we'll start having this as a weekly feature. Let me see if I can get down to it so you know exactly what to look for here in the future. But we'll start doing this weekly. We already carry Neshoba County arrest reports from the sheriff, Eric. He brings that to us each week there. We have also added now, and this will become a weekly feature, of the city of Philadelphia. And I wanted to show, if I can skimmy down to where this is on here. I got so many things that went on yesterday, and it's not wanting to keep up with me. I wanted to show you what the picture is to look for each week that we get into this. I'm trying to get there. I just don't want to travel too fast with me. That's the Meridian Police Report, and I must have passed it. But anyway, we're adding the city of Philadelphia. I'd love for you to look at that each week and keep track of what goes on in the city of Philadelphia. We'll have the arrest report each week from them beginning now. So be on the lookout for that. We carry Meridian, the county of Lauderdale County, also Neshoba County, and also now the city limits of Philadelphia to keep you up to date. It's great reading material there. A pretty large one this week from Neshoba, from the city of Philadelphia. I'm still looking for that. I know it's there. I just hadn't put my finger on it yet. Scroll down, you'll be able to find it. I got miscombobulated with my scrolling. Here we go. This is the picture that you'll want to look for right here. This is the arrest report from Philadelphia. And look for that each week, and you'll be able to read up on what's the latest going on in Philadelphia. Hope you'll enjoy reading all of that. Keeping track, it's always good to know what's happening in your community. And again, if your community would like to be added to that, to where we have it each week, get in touch with me. We'll be glad to add that to the police department to us as well. Let's see. Wayne Wiggins says, snowy in Neshoba County. Wow, what part of Neshoba are you from there, Wayne? As we watch this, and we've had it mentioned several times this morning. I doubt anything sticks. We're at 40, but still pretty neat to have a snow flurry here on this February morning. It's going to wrap things up as we head toward the top of the hour. We're going to get things ready again beginning at 8 a.m. Make sure you're back for the live show that kicks off. We'll have Chris Reed joining me and Candace this morning as we discuss all the ins and outs, what's going on in the community. We're glad that you're a part of it, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that joined me yesterday for all the coverage on the severe weather. Thank you. Can't do it without you. Of course, our sponsors that make this show possible. We'll see you back here in just a little while, beginning at 8. Scotty Ray and Candace. Winston County snow flurries. Look at there. Miss Brittany, how are you today? Miss Brittany Dove. Some snow flurries. What a day it is. So everybody open your door and look, because it probably will not last long. And that's in House, Wayne says. House, Mississippi. I'll take a look at the snow flurries while you got them. Proud of that. Thank y'all for posting that. Glad to see that. But seriously, as daylight starts coming, you better go look. It may not be there very long. We'll be back beginning at 8. Thank y'all so much, and we'll see you soon. And as always, if you've got a story, you see something, snap a picture, send us a inbox so we'll know about it and can dig into more information as to what's going on with the situation you're going up on, whether it's a wreck or anything to that nature. Looks suspicious, so let us know. We'll see if we can find out for you. We'll be back beginning at 8. Again, thank you for dropping by.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by